It's 6:44. Welcome back to a great day on this Tuesday, 6th day of May. And Tuesdays about this time, a lot of people dialing into our program because it is time for one of our most popular segments of the entire week. It is Ron the Car Guys. He makes a stopover and teaches you some things about your car that you probably didn't know. Very cool.
That's right. We're going to talk a little bit about wheels today. Wheels.
Okay.
Wheels.
Okay.
Say that with a whistle.
Wheels.
Now, we usually talk about this when it gets to be winter time. Are we talking about it again because now it's getting warm outside?
Well, we're talking about it now because people are out cleaning their car. They're washing their car, and they're noticing, curb damage. The other thing that we're seeing is results of the potholes. I mean, they've done a pretty good job of patching them, but there's still a lot of them out there. Mm-hmm. And cars hit that, and it damages wheels, it bends wheels. Oh. And sometimes or some places think that if the wheel's damaged, that I have to throw it away and get another wheel. Or if it's cosmetic damage, they look at it and say, well, I'm going to have to live with this, and then they chew out their spouse or significant other and blame them on the curb rash on it. And you've never done that, or you've never had that happen to you, have you, Jason?
No.
but nevertheless, there's an easy fix for all of this, and so I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. If you look, most cars on the road have some kind of an alloy wheel. The days of the hubcaps are gone.
Right.
And this is the type of damage that you see on it.
That's curb rash.
That's curb rash. It's been up against the side of a curb, or someone took a die grinder to it, which is unlikely. Yeah. But that is easily fixable. Oh. And so it's not something that you really have to live with. Another thing that we see is that type of damage. Now that's more from a pothole. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean that wheel needs to be discarded or thrown away. That's something that also can be fixed.
Can be
now,
straightened.
if it's that bad, will the tire still hold air? Will the bead sit there?
In that particular case, that wheel came in holding air. Wow. Yeah, that legitimately. Usually when we see a deflated tire from a curb damage, it's got a hole in it. Okay. Something in the pothole or the curb, tore the tire or punctured the tire. But yeah, that would definitely, it wouldn't drive well at all. But it certainly would hold air. That particular one did. So
now, when you straighten those, it's not going to be showroom perfect.
You won't be able to tell.
But really?
Yeah,
it's that good now.
Yeah. The technology out there.
Really?
That'll look like a brand new wheel. It can be straightened.
I'm impressed.
It can be straightened out, and then the curb damage can all be straightened out. And a lot of these wheels are painted or polished, and then they're coated with a special clear coat on it.
Wow!
It's recoated like that's something, and you see a lot of those, especially around here with the salt and stuff we have on the roads.
Eats away at it.
We can make that thing look like a brand new wheel.
Now, what about? I'm glad you're showing that one there, because what about a situation like that when you get that much erosion from salt around the bead? It gets in there too, and then what you're going to find out is you're losing air.
Exactly.
In some of these tires.
I should have brought a picture of that. Yeah, you do get corrosion where the tire, the bead is where the tire actually meets up to the inside part of the wheel.
And it sneaks between the tire and the wheel and lets air in. Or out, actually.
Yep, it corrodes in there, and as long as it's not pitted in too deep, we can go in, we can resurface that inner lip of the wheel.
Okay.
And then there's also a sealer that we can put on it. It's called bead lock.
Right.
And we can put that sealer on it so it seals up. So unless it's very, very severe damage or corrosion, we can fix stuff like that.
Okay, we have a customer right here.
Awesome.
Okay, definitely, yeah, because we have one wheel that does that.
You just keep putting air in it.
Well, I keep taking it back, and they'll clean it off, and,
sure.
and then, but no, I think I need to get it fixed the right way.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, if it's a major, like a dent or something like that, do you have to then rebalance the wheel when you're all done, or does it?
Or any time you repair something, you even unlike that curb rash, because you're polishing that out,
right?
And then you're recoating it and stuff. So it's best to take the tire off anyway. And so anytime you take a tire off, we remount it, we rebalance it, and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
How serious of a situation is this? Is this something, if you're noticing these marks on your tires, you need to get it in immediately, or it's not because something else might happen to your tire?
That's a great question. The one that we showed with the curb rash, I mean, that's cosmetic. Mm-hmm. But you might have a car that's 2 or 3 years old. The rest of the car is in great shape, and you're going to drive around and be embarrassed and blame that on your spouse for the next 2 or 3 years that you have the vehicle, you might as well get it fixed. It's relatively inexpensive. Another thing that we see with that a lot is people that lease vehicles. They've gotten very critical when you turn the vehicle in off lease now. They'll look for damage like that, and they'll charge it back when you turn the vehicle in. Well, rather than have them charge back a $400 or $500 wheel, why not spend $100, $125 and get it fixed before you turn it in? Because they're not going to give you a break on it. I mean, if you can't lease a vehicle, run it into the ground, and give it back to them and walk away.
Here you go.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like a rental car.
Well, here's an idea. Maybe there's some dads out there that don't want to get their spouse for Mother's Day, and maybe your significant other did get some curb rash on the wheel. How about just taking it over to Ron, let Ron fix it, and say, hey, listen, it's gone, and just call it even.
That, or in the beginning, don't point your finger at your significant other or spouse.
Well, that's going to happen. So,
just blame it on the curb fairy and say, well, I got to get the wheels fixed. The curb fairy was here last night.
Fix it where you won't fight about it later, okay? And Ron can take care of that. That's pretty slick. I'm really impressed with the bent wheel that you said you could straighten out. You won't even know. Is it a machine that does it, or is it by hand?
Yep. Nope. It's an actual machine with different fittings and dies and stuff that can fix that.
That is really impressive.
That once in a while, you'll run into one where a piece is missing. And in that particular case, obviously we can't fix it.
You're out of luck.
But you don't necessarily have to buy a new wheel. You can buy like a reconditioned wheel, and send the old one in as a core. I'm not sure how they fix it. We had a BMW come in one time where I don't know what they hit, but both front wheels were cracked.
Oh, geez.
And they were like a 20-inch wheel. I mean, they were an expensive wheel. And we sent those away, and they welded them and repaired them, and we rebalanced them. You couldn't even tell they'd been fixed. They did a really nice job. And this also applies to, you'll see a lot of aftermarket wheels that people put on vehicles. They're coming in like a smoke gray color or
the dress
polished,
wheels.
Black color or something like that. We can fix that stuff as well.
I didn't know that.
I had no idea.
That's impressive.
That's cool.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And so people want more information on this?
Just go to westsideautopros.com and give us a call or check us out.
Now, if you have a question about anything car related, Ron the Car Guy answers those too.
I do. You can go to askronthecarguy.com and submit your question. I answer all of them.
All right, well done as always.
Thank you,
sir. It is 6:51. Stick around. We'll be right back. Totally Serious News is next.